We're here on the shores of Kennedy Lake, where 20 years ago we had the largest civil disobedience action in Canadian history. It was just at the Kennedy River Bridge, about a kilometre along the logging road behind us here. 936 people were arrested, 856 of them faced jail time to stop the clear-cut logging in Clayoquot Sound. And 20 years later, we have a much more positive situation where we believe there's a lot of potential to see a huge degree of protection in what is now a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve.
April the 13th, 1993, when that decision was brought down by the Harcourt government to log Clayoquot Sound, I organised a walk from Tofino to Ucluelet. And a group of us walked to meet the loggers in Ucluelet. It took us 2 days to walk from Tofino to Ucluelet. And I just remember at the time wanting to connect with the loggers because I knew this decision was going to affect, both our lives. And there were other times where we didn't really connect with the loggers in Ucluelet. It was a difficult time. I remember having some of the wives come over to visit me at my bed and breakfast in Tofino. And we just talked about what a difficult time this was going to be because we knew we would be in opposition to each other. And even when the protests were going on here in the woods, shake block cutters were being not allowed to go in. So it was difficult. It was a difficult time. It was a difficult time for all of us. I met some loggers afterwards who told me, that they changed their jobs to, they still worked in the industry, but they didn't work in clear-cut logging. So I think they would be probably looking back now and would be grateful that we didn't have clear-cut logging, that there is intact forests left. I think so, and for their children, and there's only 20% left in the world. We've saved it. We've saved 25%. We've saved it. That is, to me, that's everything.
We were singing songs. That was an important part of the camp life and the blockades. Was the singing the songs, which actually really protest songs, and it helped to strengthen one's spirit when you're standing there and making a decision to be arrested. I came out to the peace camp, and I wasn't going to get arrested. I had talked to my employer. There was only 2 of us in the company. I was doing gardening work, and I said to him, "No, I'm going to go out there. I'm not going to get arrested. I'm going to continue working this summer." I got there, and then just being in that black oak clear cut again, and being in Clayoquot, and just being there that evening, and just feeling that yes, I need to stand on that road. I need to be a spokesperson for those beings who have no voice in our society. So
you just don't know what's going to happen, right? You put out all this kind of faxes and posters and phone calls and say, we're going to start blockades, and then the first day comes, it's like, who's going to be there, right? And then like the first day, it was like all people that I didn't know. Right. So we've been working in this little local area, and we knew everybody who was getting arrested, and then all of a sudden showed up. It's like, these are people who've come from from Vancouver, from the islands, from Sven Robinson was there, and wow.
Sense of community that was there, the work that all of you organizers did to make that community possible was why Clayoquot was so successful, I think.
You don't undertake a blockade lightly anyway, but the amount of work just makes my knees weak to think now.
Yeah, Mariko's behind the scenes, and she's, a really important part of the whole thing. So many people behind, but they weren't on camera. They never got on camera. They didn't get their statements out to the media, but without that support, and the rest wouldn't be possible. So.
I don't think it can be manufactured again. We can't have another Clayoquot in the same way. It might happen again if something happens, because people feel that kind of the tension or the concern, and I kind of feel like that's happening with pipelines and tankers and climate change. Is subsurface tension. It's like the tectonic plates, and it's like that for a long time. All of a sudden, you never know when it goes, right? And it's like it shifts, and when it shifts, it's like we got to be ready. And that's what happened in '93. We were ready because people were ready to come to Clayoquot Sound. Sometimes it was about Clayoquot Sound, but some people were just saying forests everywhere around the world. It was a place to kind of put all that and that feeling about what was going wrong at the time.
What can we learn from 1993? It was really a passionate time, I think. A lot of people came here because they were driven by something they love. And that's just 2 days ago we had a panel with a bunch of the key actors in the 1993 logging blockades, and one of the messages that I really took from that was that people defend what they love. If you fall in love with something, you won't let someone destroy it. And so that's, for our generation, it's to fall in love with the earth again and to see where the earth is being most hurt. And I think that the civil disobedience and the necessary actions to protect the planet from the harm that's being done to it, they will come up organically if we can just fall in love with the earth again.